What's going on, everybody? This is Kevin with Angry Snowboarder. I am the binding guy. I test the bindings. Today we're going to be talking about my top 5 favorite all-mountain bindings for 2018. First up is the Bent Metal Transfer. This is Bent Metal's second year making bindings. This is their second year of the redesign. For the first portion of their life, they were probably some of the scariest and worst bindings on the entire market. They kept one single feature from the original bindings into the new ones, and that's the forward lean block on the back, because it's simple and it actually works. Everything else is totally new. And they're awesome. They're great. One of the big things about the Bent Metal bindings is they're using what they call transfer plates. So you've got your whole subframe underneath, that bolts onto the board, and then your footbed is what they're calling their transfer plates. They're made in Mervyn, or at Mervyn, in the snowboard factory, like a snowboard. It's a sandwich construction, and they've got 3 different levels. They've got glass, basalt, and then carbon. Transfers come with the basalt. It's the middle response on that, on those dry plates. The high back has a nice cup shape to it and kind of micro pseudo wings on both sides. It's not a super stiff high back, but it was always enough. It was always exactly what I needed it to be. And it has enough torsional give to it that's going to stay behind your boot. So as you're moving around, you're not going to lose your high back. You're not going to get past it really. The straps are of the new foam with a skeleton to them. So they're supportive. There's no seams to blow out. They're never going to stretch. Your strap's going to just last way longer than old straps of today with fabric and stitching and all that bullshit. It's all gone. The ratchets are smooth. They have a nice feel to them, and they have this nice sound, which means nothing in performance-wise, but it sounds. And the toe straps are super basic, and honestly, the more basic your toe strap is, honestly, the better it works. It's just plastic, and it's got a hole in the center. That's all you need. Really all you need. Drive plates are smooth. That's really the key with these bindings, is what makes them really kind of stand out from everything else is those. The basalt, it rides really smooth, and it just provides a really nice feel underfoot. You get a lot of board feel, but you don't get a lot of chatter out of it. It was just always enough binding for what I needed it to do, whether it be hitting rails or riding ice moguls at A-Basin. Burton coming at you again. The Malavita is a staple in their line at this point. It has just this name behind it. A ton of their team rides it. That's what Red is riding. That's what Danny's riding. It's a super versatile binding. It's super comfortable. Kind of bottom half of the high back has that hammock back there, and it just grabs the back of your boot. I learned recently that creation was actually the binding designer trying to eliminate ankle straps. He was trying to create such a strong hold of the high back on the back of your boot that you just didn't need an ankle strap, which is insane. But it created the hammock, which is awesome. The ankle strap is of that new kind of injected whatever that has no seams, no foam. It's never going to blow out, never going to stretch. It's always going to be the same. Burton was kind of one of the first brands to really start doing it, and they do it really well. It's super comfortable. It's responsive. It conforms to pretty much any boot shape. It works really well. Toe straps are kind of weird. I actually have this binding on one of my daily boards right now, and the toe strap has actually broken in a little bit and starting to fit a little bit better on the toe box, but when you put 2 right angles on a toe strap and it turns it into a box, it kind of fits on stuff weird. I've never had any issues with it not staying put or moving or not riding the right way or really being uncomfortable. It just looks super weird, but mine is starting to break in, so I'm starting to think that maybe it just takes time and then it's going to fit better, but I don't really see the point in having it be shaped the way it is, but it is what it is. But like I said, it's actually on one of my daily boards, so this has actually become one of my daily bindings. It is just super capable everywhere. It's just comfortable, and the type of binding you forget you're wearing, which is, for an all-mountain binding, awesome. It's kind of what you're really looking for. So, Ride Rodeo. It is probably their most promoted or ridden binding at this point. It's just pretty basic for the most part. Nothing really fancy on it. It's got a really nice toe strap, super grippy rubber in the center of it, 2 supportive strands, top and bottom, conforms over any boot shape. It's comfortable, latches down well. The ankle strap is your classic ankle strap. It's just foam, fabric, stitching. Does have plastic running across the whole inside to it, so it's not going to stretch out, but might wear out a little bit compared to some of these other more synthetic injected straps out there. And then the high back is just a classic high back. It's a little bit flexible up top, just enough so that it's, can get out of the way if you're trying to tweak a grab out or if you're running through some trees and you need to move your body around a little bit. And then the aluminum frame. That's kind of the big thing for Ride, is full aluminum. And that's kind of a hot point for a lot of people. Some people hate it. The angry snowboarder himself is not the biggest fan of full aluminum frames.
Fuck those things!
They ride a little harsh, and that's why people tend to not like that. Harsh, board feel, whatever you want to call it. I kind of like it. I like that feedback. I like knowing exactly what's happening underneath my feet. That's kind of how I snowboard. It works great for me. It's a super supportive feel, and it does provide a really minimal footprint on top of the board. Not in the sense of the way a lot of brands are talking about it, where they just give you your mini disc mount and then just throw a shit ton of foam underneath the binding and call that no contact. This is actually probably the narrowest fit binding you can get out there, because the binding only ever has to be as wide as your boot, because they take the aluminum and they roll up after that. Every other nylon frame binding out there, there's just more material out there. Again, it's just a feel thing. You know, there's nothing wrong with nylon bindings. I ride a ton of them. But that's one of the key things with the aluminum frame, is you're going to get literally the smallest footprint on top of the board. While aluminum doesn't flex as much as nylon's going to, that small footprint is going to help the board flex. I've got rodeos on my Warpig, so I like them. They're awesome. Some people hate them. The Rome Vice was new for this year. It is a budget-friendly katana, basically. That's where they took the success of the katana and decided to try and make something a little more affordable, take away some of the key features of the katana, and just make something that a lot more people can get into and benefit from that new frame that they've got. Big thing on that story with the frame is it is a ASIM wrap. So Rome does an under wrap with their frame. Heel cup comes all the way around and then goes underneath the frame. This is the Targa, so yeah. Frame comes all the way under, goes underneath. The katana and Vice share the same frame, and it just goes underneath the inside, so where your arch is. On the outside, it doesn't have that frame, it just drops down right after the heel cup. It just provides a little bit of a softer feel, especially towards the outside, more supportive towards the inside. It lightens the binding up a good bit. Still have basically all that same adjustability that you're used to with Rome, and you still have pivot mount. Pivot mount typically on Targa and Katana has 8 positions, so on the Vice, again, being a little more budget friendly, only has 4. So you have top left, top right, bottom left, bottom right. So you still can move that strap up and down, you can still adjust it, run it high on the outside, low on the inside, we'll make it a little softer towards the inside, a little stiffer towards the outside, reverse it, run them both up like I do, because in-step problems. And it also makes the binding a little more responsive. So you have some adjustability there as well. It's just a solid binding from Rome. I think it's kind of your next evolution from the 390. If you like the 390, you like the way that binding feels, but maybe looking for something a little bit lighter, something maybe with a little more adjustability to it, or just looking for something new, maybe a little bit different. That's kind of where the Vice sits. I think it's 390 2.0. Coming up here is the K2 Lean AT. The Lean AT is the stiffer of the two. The other one, the FS, is useless and pointless and should die.
You have one.
No, this one is the 2015, and this high back is phenomenal and amazing, and we're not going to talk about it because they don't make this one anymore, and it makes me sad. So we're going to talk about the AT, which is still a really solid binding. So the big thing with the Lean series is the tripod base. So it's on a mini disc, and the whole frame is basically lifted a little bit, and then it's running pods. The way that they position the pods was based on pressure mapping of the foot. So it's right underneath the heel and the 2 hot points underneath the balls of your foot. So there's a few other companies out there doing kind of this new concept of, instead of it being board and binding as one solid unit, more your binding and boot being one solid unit on top of the board. That's kind of where the Lean falls into. It allows for a little bit of lateral movement to it. Most of the other bindings out there that are doing this theory just throw a shit ton of foam underneath the binding and let it kind of move in every direction, and it kind of mutes it a little bit. Whereas the Lean, with those rubber pods, you still get a good amount of support and response edge to edge, and it still gives you that benefit of that kind of more skatey, almost surfy feel side to side, or laterally tip to tip. So I think it works really, really well. I think if you're looking for that super surfy feel, the Lean frame is, I think, the best executed out there. The straps for this year were a little bit updated, and they just fit better. The super old ASIM strap like this, you had to ride it like basically maxed out on the ratchet side. Otherwise it caused a lot of pressure in bad areas, at least for me it did. So the new one is just way more comfortable. But the Lean is that kind of surfy but very capable all-mountain binding from K2. It's something that I rode the FS. I still ride the FS. This is my binding. I still ride this one. Frame's basically the same. It's really good. It's just a really comfortable binding. It's something I can actually ride all day, and I don't feel like my feet get fatigued at all. Hey guys, thanks for watching. This has been the Binding Review Series. Like, comment, subscribe, tell me whatever you want to tell me. Tell me that your favorite binding didn't make it in here. Tell me, debate with me. Why did your binding deserve to be in here and I didn't pick it?
Oh, another thing, guys. If you like what we're doing and you want to try to support, check out the link below. We've got a Patreon now, and it gives you some really cool options with great benefits to give us some support monthly and get a little bit back and some sneak peeks behind the scenes. So check it out.
It's their second year, right?
Again.